like 2 minutes early, so I'm going to kind of wait for the friends to come. Thank you for coming to my channel. So today, okay, I'm going to put my headset on. Today is the first day of the new program with the VIPKID not booking from 9 to 9:30. So I was wondering how that went for everyone. For me, I had, hello, you have to make sure your chores are done and talk to Dad about it. Go ahead out. So sorry for the interruption. Hello, Kelly. And so let's see. Today's the first day after November where we got, it's true. It's true. The students are not booking past 9 or 9:30. Now, I had one student today. During the lesson, I asked how many lessons she took. She was a level like 3, I think, and she could speak. It was kind of part of the lesson. It was about school and everything. And she said she usually takes 3 classes during the week, but now she cannot take classes after 9 o'clock Beijing time. So she will be down to 2 classes. So I guess some people will probably just reduce the amount of classes that they take. And some people, maybe they'll adjust and fill in other times. And so we're all going to adjust. So for me, that means that my Saturdays will be earlier. Today I did not start until 6:30. Next week I have a start time of like, I don't know, 5 or 5:30. I'm not looking forward to it. I had a busy day yesterday. My problem was the night before I did not sleep very well. And yeah, Kelly says teachers will probably be teaching less. Yeah, I actually have more classes scheduled for next week because it seems like when the time change happens, those times feel better than really early. But it's really weird because now I have classes at times that I don't normally get booked. Like it would be my 5 a.m., which would be their 6 a.m. But sometimes those weren't bookings. So it's just kind of weird. Maybe it's because they can't do 9 and 9:30. So that's pushing them all to a earlier time. So that could be part of the problem. Well, that could be part of the solution for me. Like next week, I actually have more classes than I've had. So that's good. And this morning I started at 6:30. I was really tired because the night before I did not sleep. Then just because sometimes I just can't sleep at night. And so I was up and down all night. So that made for kind of a long day. And then we had an activity after school, which was kind of fun. And we went to a jump place, and then we went to my other friends for pizza. And then by the time I got home, it was time for Chinese classes. So then I taught for classes last night. Now, when I do 4 in a row at night, the feedback is like torture. I don't know about you guys, but it just really is hard to do feedback when you're tired. And so this is where I really love the Feedback Panda, because the Feedback Panda will definitely give me some ideas for my feedback. Hello, Danny. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Evelyn. Hey, friend, Cindy, I love my care package prize. I've been super sick, so I couldn't make a video to talk about it, but I will. Oh, awesome. Sorry that you're sick. Wow. I couldn't tell in your videos. I saw the one about fall in Louisiana. Very good. You are very good at making videos, Danny, and making them just really like just kind of something you want to keep watching and really get an idea of your state and the simplicity. I like the simplicity of the gardening and stuff like that. It's just really comforting. I wanted to make another video. I made a video of New Hampshire in the fall, and it was right at peak season. And I need to make another one and try to like take pictures of the same places, because now it's all brown. The leaves are falling off the trees. It's still kind of pretty, but it's at the point where everything's more brown and it's kind of, winter's coming. So it's not totally terrible looking, but it's definitely not as pretty as it was. So the frost came in. Yeah, we had like 2 days ago, it was so warm, and the classroom I'm in, I opened the windows and I just have to get that air flowing. And then yesterday, it was kind of warm in the morning, but after school, it turned frigid. And that's what can happen in New Hampshire. One day it can be like t-shirt weather. The next day, you're pulling your ski parka out. So it can change. Danny says, I'll make more when we get more colors changing. Yeah. Well, that would be great. Well, we'll all definitely be watching and getting ready to, I like to watch the YouTube videos. I watch them basically instead of watching TV. And we sometimes will watch a show, but I guess I'm getting older. In some ways, I'm slowing down. So it's not like I'm sitting around watching TV all the time, but there are down times. And then, like, when I'm driving, I don't necessarily watch the YouTube videos, but I will put on like a live or something so I can listen to people talking and stuff like that, instead of listening to a random radio program that I don't even know the person. And it's something that I can kind of increase my my learning about VIP Kid. So thank you. I have 5 watchers. And if you guys want to put a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And let's see. Danny says, how is special ed teaching going? Are you loving it? And do you have a long commute? Okay, so I teach some kids that they are from an adoptive family. They are from other countries. This family is quite special. They have kids from China, Ukraine, um, Ethiopia, and so they're kind of a blended family. And some of the kids have different types of issues, and so we have like a special class for them to work with them, and they've kind of worked into a schedule. So we have a schedule going, and we just kind of keep to the schedule. They do a lot of just quiet working, which is good. And they just sit quietly. They do what they call the PACE program, which is Accelerated Christian Education. And it's just kind of like workbooks, and they fill it in, and it kind of repeats a lot. So they get the same thing over and over. It reinforces what they've learned. And so for them, it's kind of like making sure their behavior is good, making sure they're sticking to their work. And so we've worked into a good pattern. So things are going well with that. And then, of course, I have my other 4 kids. My oldest daughter is doing a lot of online courses where she is in line. She's kind of in the process of, it's her junior year, and if she does all the courses for the junior and senior year, it's kind of like a dual enrollment, and she's hoping to get her associate's degree for college courses, and then she's hoping to transfer that into whatever college she goes to. So she's been doing really well with that. She just started. She's a little nervous about it, but she's a really good student, and she finished her first course, so she's doing great with that. So she comes to school with us, and half of her program is with the school, half of her program is on the computer, and then she also has time to help with the little kids, because we have like K3, K4, and K5, so she helps with those. kids, she does sports, and that's why when I homeschooled, trying to do all of those different things was just overwhelming. But we can go to one place and we can do it all. She's also taking sign language this year. And so, yeah, so it's going well. And yeah, this is my backdrop that I've had for a while, and it still will work for Thanksgiving. I'm thinking of switching it up. Maybe I'll wait till Christmas because, you know, it still has pumpkins and stuff. So my commute is about 35 minutes. So it's not too bad, but I wish I lived closer, but where we live is kind of country-ish. And then everywhere we go is about 30 minutes. We do have stores that are about 10 minutes away, like the dollar store. We have a grocery store. My kids work in town. It's about 10 minutes. But if you want to go to a bigger town, it's about 30 minutes. So it's not too bad. Yeah. So I like where we live. It's just hard when you have to drive everywhere. Yeah, and it's not much traffic. We live in a smaller town, and if you go like toward the Boston area, my husband had to drive in Boston a couple days ago, and it's just brutal. It's bumper to bumper traffic. Yeah, traffic jams. And so I go work at a small Christian school, and it really is cool because we also have a foreign exchange student from Korea, South Korea. He is really, really an awesome kid. And so I've been able to kind of interact with him. I've had him in math classes for the last 2 years, but I don't have him this year. But he's fun to have at the school. And it's a small school, and we have a big diversity of students. We also have a lot of students from Brazil. Their families have moved to our country, and then a lot of the kids will come in and they don't even speak the language. I'm getting a call. I can't answer that call right now. So yeah, I have to take that's my daughter. I'll have to catch up with her later. Um, so yeah, so it's kind of a cool, diverse for having a small school. It's like 80 kids, I think, all ages, all the way up to 12th grade. So I learned that 6 million people live in the Bay Area, California. That is more than my whole state. Crazy population over there, and fires burning. Yeah, I read about the fires. That's just so scary. There's a girl that in my church, her brother was in the fire in Paradise, California. I think it was like maybe 2 years ago now. And it was scary because she called me. She's like, pray for my brother. He is driving out of the city, and there is fire everywhere. And when you get a call like that, you don't even know, is this real? Like it just feels like the Twilight Zone. And then you see it on the news, and you see how big this is and how real this is, and it's just crazy to think that you know somebody in that situation. And the fires are very scary. um, as I read more about that city, though, I found that there had been other fires there. So I don't know if I'd want to rebuild on a place that had such devastation twice. But being a math person, maybe the odds of it happening again would be even smaller. I don't know. So anyway, well, I wanted to talk about my tech problems this morning. I could not believe it. I did. I was kind of tired, as you know. I put on Facebook and said, you know, I've got 5 classes. I had opened 2 short notices earlier, like 5:30 and 6, and I closed them out. I'm like, I don't even want to do a short notice. I get to where, like, if it doesn't book within a certain period of time, I close it out because I don't want to. I'm like, I don't want to get ready for it and then it not happen and that kind of thing. So and I'm really glad I did. I turned on my computer at like 6:15. Everything was fine. Did my first class. Everything was fine. Then I went into, I believe it was my second class, and it would not load. It was just really strange. It would not load. When it finally did load, I had the student, but the student couldn't hear me. Then I reset, and I couldn't hear the student. So today, I think I've done this once before. I had to go to my phone. Well, first thing I did was I took out my iPad. And yesterday, I almost had to use the iPad, and I realized that my app had to update. So I would say that if you have an iPad and you want to use it as a backup, make sure that your iPad is updated regularly. Like, check your iPad. Don't just leave it there for weeks and weeks and then expect it's going to be available, when it's an emergency. I'm just looking on my bookings to see what my schedule was this morning because it was crazy. Okay, so I did my first class, did my second class. My second class was a level 1 assessment. She did fine. Everything was fine. Everything was great. I've had the student before. She did a great job. Okay, then I did Lucky. Okay, her lesson was good. That was a level reading course. Her lesson was fine. So it was my fourth lesson that was the problem. And I'm thinking I did this kid once before, and I'm thinking that maybe we had problems before, but this was like big problems. Like, I went to my computer, I changed lines. By Kelly, I decided, okay, nothing's going to work on my iPad. So I went to my iPad, opened it up. It was not loading. So I went to my phone. So I wanted to mention, we've mentioned it, different people have mentioned it before, how you can go to your phone and get help from the firemen, because everything was locked up. I could not do anything with my iPad or my computer, and I didn't want to lose the class. I didn't want to get a teacher IT. So I went to my phone. Now, if you go to your phone and you look up at the top, you will see 3 buttons. Okay, there's like a shout out button, there's a little speech bubble thing, and then there's a bell. So I pressed on the speech bubble thing. Okay, that will bring you to a fireman right away. So I pressed on that, and I just said, my classroom isn't loading. I said, I have switched from the computer to my iPad. And so I let them know that I've already done some things. And then they did reset the classroom. And then I had to, with the iPad, I always used to do all of my classes vertically. But for these classes, both classes that I had to use the iPad for today, the side where the student is, it will be like all lines, and you have to turn it to horizontal. So that's the trick on that. So if you have it vertical and you aren't getting a picture, turn it horizontal. Now, I did not have my headset set up. I have a headset that I use that only plugs into this little piece right here. I only get audio through that. So my mic is the iPad. I use the iPad. So today I taught that class no headset on my iPad, and it worked fine. Now, my second class that had problems, um, it was really strange. This was my girl. I did not teach it with the iPad. I was going to, but I said, I'm going to go back to my computer because I wanted to make sure it wasn't my computer that was the problem. I went back to my computer, signed in and everything, started using the AR stickers. I was talking about Halloween and stuff. And I put one on her, put one on me, and then the whole thing froze up. So I was going to go to my iPad, and then I decided I would stay there, and I contacted the fireman, and he actually put me in the old classroom. So I use the computer, and I have the iPad group, and I like to find these things out because I want to be able to help people. Like, sometimes they think it's their iPad, they think it's their headset, they think it's, other things. It might be the student's end. It might be, there are a lot of different things that these problems can be. Danny, I did not keep on my headset. Now I'm trying to think my last class. Now I'm losing my mind because I'm thinking my last class, I did go back to my iPad because they put me in the old classroom, and then I was like, it was still having problems like with the sound. So I went back to my iPad and I did not use a headset at all. I didn't keep it on either because I figured, it was just kind of cumbersome. And I figured, I just wanted to prove that the class is going to be fine without the headset. So I will go back and watch the replay and see how the sound was and everything. But my students were fine. Like they were totally fine with the classes that I had to do on the iPad. So that was my day. It was quite glitchy. Now, last night I had a level 2 trial, and somebody was saying that there were problems with the trials, that they were kind of glitching and everything. And I did find that to be the case. Like it wasn't like impossible to do, but it was kind of glitchy. Like we had to kind of wait for the slides sometimes. T1U6 level 2. I actually had one that canceled and then one filled in right away. So I had to go ahead and do this one without, I'm just looking at it to see how the materials look on the phone. Okay, so what happened was it was a fun one because it was all about eyes and nose. I don't know how many of you have done this one, but I don't know if I can listen to it on the phone. Oh, there it goes. Have you guys done this one? I thought it was really fun, and I had never done that one before. So I used this, my nose. This was my nose. And then I had my watermelon, which I was going to show you guys this really fun reward that I printed off this week. Oh, I don't have the watermelon on here, but this is my fruit. I printed this off and I have 2 pages of these different types of fruit with the eyes. So I used some fruit with a mouth and eyes, and it was very fun. Made the lesson really good. So this backdrop I got at Lowe's. Lowe's has a section for the flags, and so that's where I got this one. So I will be going back. So I also use this reward, which was, I used the panda that I had sent Evelyn. I have a bunch of pandas. This was Feed the Panda today. So that was really fun. If there's food, breakfast, I had the reading lesson with breakfast. And so Feed the Panda worked out great. And I also have this one. I have my earth, which comes in handy. And yeah, I love these eyes. I used these a few times today. they get, it puts a smile on their face, wakes them up a little bit. I also have these. I really can see out of these, but I wouldn't wear them for any length of time. So I saw that one girl had a patch on her eye for some reason. This would work well for covering up a patch on your eye. Or if you had some kind of a problem with your eye. So yeah, so that was my morning. The iPad definitely saved me today. And if I hadn't had my iPad right next to me, I don't know what would have happened. I may have lost a class. I may have lost 2 classes today for, I don't know what they would have called it, if it would have been teacher IT or whatever it was. So Yeah. So if you have I see one thumbs up. I know everybody's busy getting going to where they need to go, but sometimes people come back and watch the live. So I just wanted to share a funny story today that as I'm signing my fourth contract coming up. It is in my email box, and all I have to do is sign it. So I'm very excited. And so I was kind of reflecting on my beginning of VIP Kid, and I just wanted to share, like, when I first started, I would be in this room that I'm in right now, and I had a couch, and I set up a computer. I had no idea what I was doing, but I had never made a video. um, when I first signed up, I had to make a "this is me" type video, and I just sent it in by email. And then I got an affirmative response, and I continued going. So I didn't start out with a live person interview. I just started out with a "send in your video and see what happens." And I can just remember when I first got into VIP Kid, um, trying to make that first video. And I was just laughing hard at myself. Here it was, 10, 11 o'clock at night. My family's all asleep, and I'm trying to put on makeup and make a video. It just is definitely not something that I have ever done. And I just figured, well, I'm learning something new, and until they tell me to stop, I'll just keep going forward. So that's what I did. So that's one of my funniest memories. I do have the photo of my very first VIP Kid class, like, afterwards. And I'm thinking about making a video of some of my beginning photos and beginning videos, and just kind of putting them together. So, maybe that will come up if I can figure it all out, put it all together. Maybe that will come up soon as my fourth contract anniversary. So it will be 2 years for me next. I think it's like the end of March when I first signed up. And it's kind of funny how I've seen a lot of people on YouTube and a lot of our friends that have signed up around the same time. And we must have all been, I don't know if they just flooded Facebook with ads or what it was, but somehow we kind of were doing it all at the same time. So Danny says, "I'm so glad I booked in 24 hours only because I couldn't talk the last few days without pain." Oh no, Danny. I would have had to suffer through or miss classes. Yeah. Oh yes, the beginnings are so funny. Bad lighting. Yeah, I had terrible lighting as well. Awkward teacher trying too hard to make a bond with the student. Yeah. I remember my very first class when I signed on. It was a Sunday morning, and my husband was in the living room. Everything was quiet. And I signed on like 20 minutes or maybe a half hour before the class. And the kid was there. Like, he was there early too. And I was just like, "It's China, it's China." I was so excited. I just could not. It still blows my mind that we can talk to China. It really does. So it was so exciting. And I still love it. I still love it. I'm seeing all over Facebook, "I signed my next contract. I still love this job. I still love this job. I still love this job." And I still love it too. And I'm still learning. Like, I'm still learning, still growing, still trying to make improvements, still watching other people's videos and looking for new ideas, stuff like that. So it's just a growing experience. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I want my "Heart is in China" shirt. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at people that do Etsy shops, and I want to get another shirt. But I'm not sure if I want another shirt or I just want the decal and make my own shirt, because I haven't been too thrilled with how they make the shirts. Um, yeah, I wanted to share my bathroom story. Well, I have a few. When I first came into VIP Kid, um, I kept reading little things about, like, things that would happen during the class. And this is one thing I'm glad for Facebook about, because people can share their thoughts, share their experiences, and then we can be ready for what might happen. Like, in the summer, we might see, people, and they don't realize, we have an open camera and we're in your home, so dress appropriately. They don't understand that, what we can see, I think, sometimes. But I did see a lot of posts about kids that might like take their device to the bathroom, or things would happen that are inappropriate. Well, I'm so glad that I saw those posts, because one day, I did see a few different ones. Like, I've had kids take their iPad to the bathroom. I had one kid that, like, I don't know if his mother was holding it and he was actually going to the bathroom, like making a weird face about it. And I just thought, but he was a really little kid, so I didn't really freak out about it. Well, this one kid, I've had kids say 1 minute, and then I've had the parents say, you know, Johnny has to go to the bathroom, or he has to, I can't remember the terms. They'd use other terms, and I knew what was happening. But this one time, the kid ran, he just got out of the bathtub or something, and he was getting ready for class, and he came running in with totally nothing on. And so, I had to, they were dressing him and everything. So it wasn't like they were trying to do something inappropriate. Life in your home. They're a mom, I'm a teacher. And so, but what I did was I continued with the class, and then I went ahead and I wrote to VIPKID and told them that there was nudity in this lesson, and they should, I thought maybe back then that they would block it out, like erase just that part or something. But they sent me a really nice note back and told me that they do not want this stuff on, that the video would be deleted, and that the parent knew what had happened. Now, the kid came in running. Now that I think about it, the kid was kind of showing off. So the kid did come in showing off. So by the face, you could tell he was laughing and thinking it was funny. Because now that I think about it, I wrote the letter. VIPKID told me they told the parents. And the next time I saw the kid for that lesson, the dad was sitting in the chair behind the child. And they had to teach the entire lesson with dad sitting there, like stone faced, right behind his kid, So here was his kid, and then the dad was right here. So, but that's the last time I saw that kid, which that was kind of a bummer. But dad took care of it, and he made sure his kid was appropriate. Do you know VIPKID policy on sharing info with parents? One of my parents keeps asking for contact info from me. Well, I know that on the you can do WeChat, like I do WeChat, and you can also share on the VIPKID portal. There's a place where you can ask for addresses, and you can get theirs, they can get yours. I have one student that was level 7, and we talked about stamps, and she said she collected stamps. I really wanted to send her some from America, but she never sent me her address. And I do have her on WeChat, but maybe some parents don't want to send their addresses, and maybe some people do. Obviously, there are some people that do get mail from people in China. I've seen that on Facebook. Yeah, so yeah, WeChat is a resource. That's another topic I was thinking of talking about today. I do have WeChat, but I only have like maybe 10 people. I do not have very many people on WeChat. And I do like it for the people that I do have, though. I originally got it because my one level 7 student, he I can't remember. He had said, "Oh, you do WeChat?" And so I thought, well, I wanted to just be able to contact this one kid. And it turned out really well, because his lesson had switched to an hour earlier. So one time he was late to class and he felt so bad, like he was crying. He's an older kid, but he's a perfectionist. He didn't want to miss the class. So the next time it happened again, I sent him a WeChat message and he came to class, you know. So I sent, when he wasn't there a couple minutes early, I sent him a WeChat message and he came to the class. So it helps for that. And the same kid is now in level 7, and I have had some communication because, you know, we know that VIPKID wants them to try different teachers. And so I have him and his mom on my WeChat. So I do chat with them here and there. I have recommended books and stuff like that. And but so I have an iPhone, whatever it is, you know, my husband got it for me. So hey, if I have it, I'm going to use it. So I have a few WeChat people and I do use it, that one. I did get a booking once because I put on WeChat, I have this time and that time available if you want to book a class with me. So I had a parent book a class because of that. You can put messages on for everyone, or you can do a private message with people. And you know, you just keep in mind this is monitored by the government. So of course I don't put any private information on it and things like that. My phone is a 4-year-old $50 phone. I won't get a new one until this one dies. I don't blame you. I am totally, you know, I think once you get an upgraded phone, you get spoiled and you feel like you have to have it. But it's really not a necessity. Like, I could learn to live without it, but I do so much on my phone now. It's crazy. So, yeah, so I have all my VIPKID. I have like Google Slides. I have, you know, so much stuff on here. I make videos with my phone and that kind of stuff. So it would be hard for me to go without it at this point, but I respect people that aren't jumping on that bandwagon. It's expensive. It really is expensive. A monthly bill that, you know, what, 15 years ago, we didn't have to pay, you know? So it's a racket. Yeah. So those are my stories, and I am signing my 4th contract this month, so that's exciting. Now, I saw someone on Facebook that was talking about Thanksgiving. Um, Thanksgiving, should we talk to kids in China about Thanksgiving? And of course, it is an American holiday, and it's about giving thanks for all we have. Now, there are, you know, debates over it because, you know, maybe the Europeans shouldn't be in America. You know, I've seen people that say, you know, I don't want to celebrate a holiday that encourages, you know, the European takeover of the United States of America. I'm not living back then, I'm living today. To me, Thanksgiving is about giving thanks for what God has given to us. And it's harvest time, so it's a time that we have harvested what we have worked for, although I'm not a gardener. But it's just a time to be thankful and a time to be with your family. And so that's what it is to me. Now, last year, I had some older students that were very interested in our culture. And because I have a large family, this is one of my family pictures that we took this summer. And this is at a beach near our house called Hampton Beach. And this is not even all of my family. But we went to the beach, and it just so happened that those tie-dye shirts were on sale, buy one, get one free. So we went in, we got all the tie-dye shirts, bought them that day, got a picture of everyone, and it's just a really great memory. And so last year, what I did for Thanksgiving, yeah, good, Danny. For me, it's family time, seeing folks we never see. That's right. And so I took a video and took some pictures and made it into a video. And I actually showed it, made it really short. because I wanted to show it during my classes. So I made it so that you could hear the sound of all the hustle and bustle, and the pictures of the kids taking food from the, the potatoes, the turkey, and all the kids and all the hustle and bustle, and the students loved it. They loved it. So I think they would really enjoy to see your family time if you don't mind putting your family on, you know, national lessons or whatever. But I think that they enjoy seeing our culture. They want to know what we do um, for our celebrations. So I think Thanksgiving is a great time to share a lot of good things. And I'm thinking of even incorporating that into my rewards and saying, what are you thankful for? This is our thankful time. So what are you thankful for? And like give them a chance to think about what they're thankful for. And Danny asks, are all of these kids your birth children? Yes, they're all my birth children. And they are one at a time, no twins. Um, I had 2 miscarriages that were of significance, but my kids are like, so we could have a team, but probably not, because, probably things would have been different. I don't know. But anyway, they were 2 like go to the hospital type miscarriages. So, yeah, my son, Paul, I know you're not on Facebook, Danny. I sent a message. I'll have to tag you in one of your videos, and I'll put a video on my son Paul. A few years ago, he started a YouTube channel, and he did his little introduction on himself. So yeah, so it's really funny because he talks about being one of a big family and how insane it is. But it's kind of funny. To them, it's normal. But when they go out into the world, other people think it's really weird or amazing or whatever adjectives they can use. Yeah, he doesn't really make any new videos, but the ones that he made are still on. And I keep telling him he needs to go back and make some new videos. But he thinks he's grown out of it. But his videos are so funny. He has funny ones, like, and they're planned out, and he has challenges, and did something about homeschoolers, like, so you could just get an idea of one of my kids and what they're like. I also have another son on Facebook, and he has a group. It's called Pro Life Mimetics, and he has like, they do memes, and this is about, they're kind of, they can be crass, but some of them I can't even hardly read, and some of them I think are offensive to a lot of people, but to the people who believe in pro-life, they make sense. So he has a big group with thousands of members in that, and so he wants to encourage the pro-life movement. So he is involved in that. So all my kids are pretty, go-getters and strong and whatever it is that they do. And so I'm pretty proud of them. I tend to click on the shorter videos, like under 12 minutes for sure. Yeah, his aren't too long. Yeah. So it's called PD Benzie. I can tell you that much. PD Benzie. Yeah. He does it, a lot of them, with his brother. So it's Paul and Ben. So they're pretty funny. And I go back and watch them because I'm their mom, and they just kind of make me smile. But he's in college right now in Florida, and Benjamin, his brother, is in college in South Carolina. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't end up going to the same place, because they've been partners through life. They are just the greatest of friends. Now, Kelly, several I don't know, a couple weeks ago, she had asked some questions that I could put on for my big family. One of the questions was, are they all friends? Well, my older girls, they all have a Facebook group. Like, we have a family Facebook group that's just our immediate family. Like, no other people are allowed, not even spouses. Well, my husband is on it, but their spouses are not allowed on it. That was their choice, and they just wanted to be their own knit family. Hopefully, the spouses are okay with that. I don't know how I guess I'd be fine with it, you know. So, you know, sometimes inside jokes, family jokes, whatever. So we have just our own little Facebook group. They did create another group that is for them and any other people that want to join in another group, but it's separate. And my daughters have a group that's just them. So they chit chat even without me. So that's what they choose to do. Yep. I'll be to you in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So, yeah. So they are friends. They are totally friends. And then Ben and Paul, they are like buddies. They don't always talk a lot, but they are buddies. And when they meet up, they are the best of friends. And they have never fought. Like, I think they had 2 fights out in my yard about who's the best at soccer, something weird like that. And they're both really good. But my younger 3, they do argue a lot. They're a whole different, like, we have like maybe 3 families in one. We call the older ones the first family, and then we have our second family or third family. The 3 younger ones are a work in progress. They're definitely different. And I don't know why, a lot of reasons, personalities, but they definitely have a different type of life. I think that having a large family, the kids on the top, they are so used to doing everything because I had to train them to be independent while I'm at the hospital, well, if I'm sick, if I'm tired, you know, they could manage everything. Plus, they had the younger ones to take care of. And honestly, they loved to take the younger kids on a walk. They loved to entertain them, do activities. We were always doing fun things together. And like a lot of times, I would send them out and they would always play. The younger ones, they do great when my grandkids come over. They actually shine when they have other kids to take care of. So I think having a big family, it has its advantages because there's always something to do. You're never bored, and it really, the older kids are definitely leaders in their little world that they're in, and the younger kids, I think they will be, but um, I wish I lived closer to my grandkids so that we could see them more often. So, yeah. So if we have them over, um, there's a lot. I don't know, the house seems to be a lot happier. But the younger ones, they do argue, but I'm sure they'll all be friends. So, yes, they are all friends and they all love to be together. This was this summer. We had my son, this one looks like Captain America. Really, honestly, he is not Captain America, but he looks like him. And he came from Colorado to visit home. And then all the kids were home from college. This daughter right here, she lives in South Carolina, moving to Atlanta. And she was home for the summer. And then my other boys left for college in the fall. So we are down to just 4 kids in the house right now. And last night we went to Sky Zone, and I need to take more pictures of the 4 of them because they are special. And my daughter is getting older; she's going to be going to college, and you know, yeah. So it's hard to see me as a grandma. Yeah, it's hard for me to see me as a grandma because I'm thankful I can keep up and still continue with life. I'm not really slowing down that much, although sometimes I feel tired. So, but I just love the VIP Kid because it helps me to channel some of my energy that I haven't. I don't know. I love to be creative. I love to be creative, and that is one thing that was on one of my tags from my beginning stages of VIP Kid. And I love to teach. I love to help people. So VIP Kid works out really, really well for me. And I have to think about my older kids. They're not going to want to sit around the house and take care of me. They want to explore the world. They want to make their own life. And so when we meet up, it's really great. But I need to, kind of fill in the gaps. So, yeah, it feeds me too. Yeah, exactly. And it's something I can do for fun, but it also brings in a paycheck. So, I really love to knit and I love to do crafts. I love to make things. So, even at the school right now, I have a home ec class and we are sewing. We are making a bag right now. It's more complicated than a regular bag. It has like the outside, it has pockets, has a zipper, it has a handle, it has a lining. So we're making kind of a complicated bag in our home ec class. So that's really fun. And we're making blankets like the one I made for Evelyn. One of the students made 3 for her, the adopted family. They have grandkids. So she made 3 as a Christmas gift to her nieces and nephews, and she has a list of many more that she wants to make. So I have my times to be creative, and at school and through VIP Kid and in other ways. But like sitting around knitting, I can make socks, and I made my husband socks a couple of years in a row, and he loves them so much. I really wanted to make a pair of socks every year for him, but making one pair of socks takes me hours. And it's just time consuming, and you're spending all of your time making these socks. I've had people ask me, could you make me a pair of socks? And I'm like, you could never pay me enough for me to make you a pair of socks. I'm sorry. I have a list of people that would really, my own family that want socks. And if I made a pair of socks for someone else, even for like $50, it wouldn't be worth it because my family would be mad. It wouldn't be enough money to really make it worth it for them. They'd be jealous. It wouldn't work out. But I can make socks, and my husband has like 3 pair that I made. My son-in-law, my oldest my oldest daughter's husband, I made him a pair for, I think it might have been his first Christmas, and he wears a size 14 foot shoe. So, I mean, it was twice the sock that most people get. And so he really wants another pair. And I'm like, oh, it's just so time consuming. I am not a quick knitter. I probably should learn how to knit faster. Or maybe I could work VIP Kid, make enough money to there is a knitting machine that you can kind of turn and make socks faster. But you make it with the really fine yarn, and it's wool, it's washable wool, and it's perfect for winter. Like you wear one pair of these socks and you'll want to wear them all winter long. They're amazing. Um, but it is, there's a lot to making a pair of socks. It takes a lot of learning, a lot of expertise. I had a friend that helped me with it when we were homeschooling. So I love to be creative, but VIP Kid is the best way to be creative, use all of my talents and abilities, and get paid for it. So I love it. So I see that we're hitting on 54 minutes, and I appreciate, Danny. It was so good to see you today. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you feel better. I just, hate to hear about people that are sick, especially, when you do this job, you don't want to end up with that, laryngitis. My husband actually had an eye problem. His eye is doing very well. Um, he's back to work, but he ended up during that week, he caught a really bad cold. So he has a really bad cough. So I'm hoping he's going to be over it. Actually, I was going to reach out to a friend of mine and say, what would you recommend? Home remedies, maybe the elderberry syrup. I don't have that, but I need to look into either getting some or making some. Good. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my live. And um, for anybody who's watching this who, didn't come to it live, make sure you check out my channel and give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And I'd appreciate your support, just to connect with other VIP Kid teachers has been great. I do have a Facebook group, and it's called VIP Kid iPad Users. And we talk about everything iPad. And this is my iPad. It's an older version, iPad Air, and you can tell it has like a hairline crack in it. And so I've used this for over 1,000 classes. Today I used it as an emergency vehicle to get through a couple classes. So that was awesome that I had it. And I am at 79 subs, I think, as of earlier today. And I actually lost a couple and then it went back up. So I was really glad. I was thinking of doing a free giveaway to some random number like 85 instead of trying to wait till 100. So I might do that this week. So, but thank you all for who have subscribed to my channel, and many people have gone back and watched the lives. I can see that, during the live, I might have just a few people, but throughout the week, I get quite a few views on the live. So that's really awesome. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask me, you can find me on Facebook in the iPad users group. You can type me a message right here below this video, or just reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. I usually answer pretty quickly, and I would love to hear from you. And if you would like to join VIP Kid, I'm available for that too. So I hope you all have a really great day, and I will see you next time. I'm planning on being in this live video on Saturdays. Now it will be 9:15 a.m. since we cannot book for the 9 and 9:30 slot. So we'll see how that goes. So I think if I wait an hour, then people might not, they might get busy in their day. So I think it's good right after classes, get it over with, and then you have the rest of the day and that kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.